A man can succeed at almost anything for which he has unlimited enthusiasm. Charles Schwab. Boy, I love that quote. Unlimited enthusiasm. That is what I have about the stock market. I love it. I come to you every day excited because every day is fascinating. Every day is interesting. There's always something else to learn. There's always emotions to control. There's always that fear and greed that pulses through the market that you can't let overwhelm you either way. It is some of the most fun I have. I just love it. I want you to have that same enthusiasm, that same excitement, and to keep it going, because that's what you need to keep going. 10 to 15 minutes each and every day. This should be a fun 10 to 15 minutes that you spend in the market. Practice trading, learning, and when you're learning new things, for those of you who come to us after having been in the market, I find so many people come to us after they've been burned, and then they say, God, I wish I would have known this before I went out and blew a whole lot of money. We want to encourage you to practice to show yourself approved. Learn this. When you start getting good with the paper trading, don't just go into real money. Please don't do that. Go into what we call fractional trading. And I'll put that fractional trading video at the end of today's video for you. By the way, for those of you who are, of course, subscribers, we have a great training for you today that will be in the email. If you're not a subscriber, you become one for free. It doesn't cost you anything. That list is never spammed. It's never shared. Go to chartingwealth.com, sign up. That way you'll get the daily reviews each and every day and all the special trainings we put out. Now let's jump into the markets. I'm doing this a little bit early today. It's about 3:15, so another 45 minutes or so in the market. But we see everything at this point is down. And that's pretty good for most everything because we are in down on the S&P 500. And of course, yes, let's see, when did we hit that? We hit on Tuesday. Let me see, right, it was Tuesday morning, yes. That's when we cashed out of the first half of our practice trade on the down move. We scooped up 1.83%, sold half our position. The rest of it is riding. And what do we see? Things just sort of sliding sideways as we look at where the momentum still is. Of course, we're looking at the first day of the latest 2-day candle. It's still below the weekly trend line, just below it. We look at where our weekly chart is, still heading down, waiting for the volume. Hopefully it's going to get up to at least average volume. It's been average or above the 3 prior weeks. We hope it'll stay that way and keep moving down, looking for some spot where the market stopped here before. And you know, we don't really see it. We see where it topped out up there. We see where it bounced down from there. But going back over a year, you know, we don't see any spots, at least on the weekly chart, where that would there would be a potential floor on the weekly chart to stop this down movement. But we'll continue to pay close attention to where our volume is on these charts and what we see as far as our candles go. Now let's go to the NASDAQ. It's not been moving down as much and as well as the S&P. It hasn't hit the sell trigger point. In fact, it's just above in the red. You can see, isn't that fascinating? It is literally just floating right along at our profit and loss band. We do see that prior 2-day candle was a green up candle. No, I take that. Let's, again, sometimes I try to squint my eyes. We had a prior green up candle. That was for Friday, Monday. The Tuesday, Wednesday 2-day candle was a red spinning top, and we're a doji sitting right there on the weekly trend line. Right now down 0.24%. We look at where we are on the weekly. Let's blow that up too. Take a look at that. And you can see where, again, we haven't hit the low of last week yet. We do have a red down candle. Things are moving down. We don't have any wick on top, so everything's going right with us. We do see that we have green volume. Now, don't forget the way we predicate the volume is the color. A lot of times on these charts, the standard setup is the color of the candle. We set this up that it is red if the opening for the candle, which is the weekly candle, is below the prior close. So that's how you get the green and the red candles. In fact, I'll show you how to set that. You go to the you go to the volume, you go to your settings, and then you choose color based on previous close. See, if I take that off, it goes to all red. I don't want to take that off. I want to have a little bit more information, and I will take it. You also notice there the average we have it set on is 20 periods. For this, it'd be 20 weeks. So that helps us see how the volume compares across the board. So that is where we are on the Qs. We're paying much closer attention to the NASDAQ because it's not moving down at the rate that we have seen with the S&P. Let's go to bonds. Bonds have been very good to us. Of course, we already punched out of very, very quickly that 2.34%. Then we let the rest of it ride, and it has been riding. That's where it's hard for me to judge. Let me go back. Those are not where they used to be. Let me move that up. That was the 2.34%. Then we had that bump up week. Then things rotated back over, and we had that 2.10% down move. Now we're just letting things ride with the market. And of course, down again for the day, 0.41%. Price nicely below the 2-day, well below the half-day. On the weekly trend line, looking great. What about gold? Gold going down today. It's down 0.20%. And of course, as we look at where we were this morning, of course, we tagged out half our position in gold. Nice to see when that happened on Thursday morning between 9:30 and the 195 minutes of the first half of the day. We made, 1.69%. We're letting the rest of things ride. So gold going in the right direction, which is down. Now let's go back and we will track what's up with Bitcoin. As we look at Bitcoin, of course, we see that this is the third week after a small start, then a false start. Then this week we see a little bit going up. We've seen things punch up and punch down. They are down for the day, punched up in the morning, and then down in the afternoon. Again, hard to find much of a pattern here to trade on Bitcoin. I did record earlier in the week our Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies. If you will watch that, it's released to the general public tomorrow. It was out, I think, Tuesday evening for the Patreon members. Always Patreon members, remember, everything we put out, the first place we put it is on the Patreon page, and it's locked there for you. So please always feel free. The weekly vertical crossovers are already there for the week, as is the three-wave trades, those proctored trades that we look at for you. We go ahead and scan them, and of course gives you some things to think about, practice trading for the week. And also we release early Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies. That is where we are, my friends, for the day as we go into the last trading day of the week on Friday, the close of the markets. Of course, what will we do for you? We'll provide you with our weekly review and forecast tomorrow. So either listen to it on Friday or, over the weekend. If you appreciate what we do here, why don't you consider being a Patreon sponsor? The things you support tend to stay around. And of course, the first thing you get is a whole bunch of different trainings. The biggest and most popular, and I think what drives most people, is Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way. It's a 3-part series. First email you get from us has that training. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.